Ladies and gentlemen, President Trump is the human equivalent of Jaws to Democrats. They don't know what to do. They're like swimming in the ocean, and it's this orange creature with a dorsal fin, with that coiffed hair, that blonde orange hair, just like a dorsal fin, just kind of following them, about to devour them, and they don't know what to do. President Trump is like the equivalent of Jason and Friday the 13th or Freddy Krueger. They don't know what to do. They're in a nightmare. They're in a dream. How could they have lost? They outspent Trump 2-1. Madam Secretary, who's running again in 2020 and will lose again in 2020, Madam Secretary outspent Trump 2-1. They had the media, they had Hollywood, they had every single pundit, every expert of polling and data, and everyone. Clinton was going to win Arizona, North Carolina, possibly Texas. In fact, Madam Secretary was even in Arizona a week before the election. Wisconsin? Come on. And then Putin interfered, and the Russians interfered by informing the country that Bernie Sanders was cheated. Oh, that's right. Nobody cared until Madam Secretary lost. But anyway, Trump has begun 2024 campaign and is eligible to serve a third term. Senior advisor says. So, this is really hilarious, okay? This is really hilarious. Huckabee teases Hannity appearance, says he'll explain why Trump is eligible for a third term. Former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee said he will appear alongside Fox News' Sean Hannity to explain how President Trump will be eligible for a third term. So, basically, it's President Trump will be eligible for a third term due to the unlawful attempts by Comey, Dems, and media attempting to oust him as president. So that's why I was named to head up the 2024 re-election. You have to understand, I know some of the most beautiful, intelligent, amazing people who truly think Trump is going to run again in 2024. Do you understand the level? Like, he is in their minds. He is on their minds and inside their psyches 24/7. Now, theoretically, he obviously can't. He's not running a third term. So if there's any progressives or liberals watching, don't worry. Of course, he's just joking. President Trump, by the way, it's not like, can you think of a president who got more negative feedback from media, more negative coverage than Trump, and he's still winning? The media is powerless. Comey, Strzok, McCabe, Clapper, they're powerless. Hollywood, De Niro, everyone, they have no say in anything. President Trump is leading, I don't know what you would say, like a resurgence, or when you scale back U.S. foreign policy, you're the first president to step foot in North Korea to begin détente between North and South Korea. You're presiding over record low unemployment, record low Black and Latino unemployment, record highs in the stock market, household median income up, wages are rising. Some of the best job numbers of the past, 50 years. You have an economy that's running on all cylinders. And it's not like he's trying to circumvent responsibility. It's not like he's trying to not address the $400 billion trade deficit with China. He's doing so. Democrats wanted the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which was an abomination. They didn't want tariffs. They wanted the TPP by Tufts University stated that the TPP would lose 400,000 jobs in the Midwest. You have manufacturing jobs, hundreds of thousands. President Trump is actually extremely honest in what he said he was going to make the economy wonderful again, reverse foreign policy failures of the past 16 years. He's extremely honest. They say that, he doesn't tell the truth. Well, compared to President Obama and President Bush and definitely Madam Secretary, all he does is honesty. President Obama knew that Flint water, when he drank Flint water and said, "Oh yeah, it's safe." Could you imagine if Trump had done that? He knew it wasn't safe. When President Obama presided over a failed NATO intervention in Libya, he wasn't doing so for the people there. And that's the thing. When you have a president saying, "I found out, about my private server, my Secretary of State had a private servers for 4 years. I didn't know." Well, you emailed Madam Secretary with a pseudonym, under a pseudonym, so obviously you knew something. So the president, they don't get this. Like, he's running in 2024. He obviously can't because of the 22nd Amendment, but he would win in 2024. Like, if he could, he would still win. The Democrats have nobody. And the Democratic Party will still be beholden in many ways to both Clintons. So you're looking at, Clinton's going to be the nominee. Hillary Clinton will become the nominee, like I said in 2017 in my Huffington Post article. Clinton 2020 is a reality. Get ready for 8 years of Trump. But the issue is, if he could serve a third term, he would win. Okay, the nonsense regarding Trump, his recent executive order banning anti-Semitic statements and ideologies. I'm probably not explaining the executive order that well, but you're looking at a president who signed the First Step Act. You're looking at a president who is trying to bring home Americans from never-ending conflicts. You're looking at a president who's presiding over peace between North and South Korea, the beginning of a roadmap of something, détente, something. The caricature, the vision, like when it was a insidious article, like just horrible in the New York Times, something along the lines of, "Oh, let's give Trump a miserable Christmas," something like that. It's like, why would you even speak in that manner? They don't dislike Trump. They don't oppose Trump. They despise him. That's what Victor Davis Hanson stated in the book, The Case for Trump. I urge everyone to read that. And it's so true. He also talks about how, in terms of memes and in terms of Trump being insulting, the establishment is infinitely more insulting or belligerent than Trump. The establishment hides, James Comey? Madam Secretary, no reasonable prosecutor would indict, although there was top secret intelligence outside of the United States government on servers. But if it's anyone else, it's a game, set, match. Golf, Brexit, and grandchildren. Attorney General Loretta Lynch met with Bill Clinton to speak about golf, Brexit, and grandchildren. It was about golf. It wasn't about Clinton's FBI interview. It was about golf. We can go on forever. We can go on forever. The litany of statements that are so absurd. Oh, Comey said, the Attorney General told him to call it a matter. He felt queasy. Oh, did you feel queasy, Comey? Oh, when he wrote his memos, Trump demanded loyalty. Oh, we have to take this at face value. This is what Trump is going up against, in addition to people who try to disrespect him overtly. That's why he returns the favor. He retaliates in the same manner, and sometimes with even greater force. And when he retaliates, see, I don't want to be disrespectful, and he's a good human being. But Bernie Sanders, they're used to Bernie Sanders like a person they cheat, who doesn't really fight back. That's why they couldn't stand Tulsi Gabbard, because she fought back. They can't stand Trump because he fights back, because he is a constant reminder. Look what took place just hours back in the UK. Boris Johnson, the greatest, the largest election victory for the Tories and the Conservatives since Margaret Thatcher in 1987. So, I mean, Corbyn and Labour got decimated, absolutely obliterated. And it's like, Mike Huckabee claims Donald Trump is eligible for a third term, and Bosey has been named to head up the 2024 re-election campaign. Do you understand nobody cares about impeachment? Absolutely nobody. They've miscalculated. They have completely and utterly miscalculated. Which is really hilarious. I mean, absolutely hilarious, to tell you the truth. Absolutely hilarious. And when Democrats talk about, we don't want to, we never wanted to impeach, but we had to, that's deception. That's not true. That's a lie. We can go on. When the Washington Post says, we found 5,000, 15,000, statements that weren't true. If you took the standard, the rubric, the matrix, the formula, or whatever, if you evaluated statements from President Obama and Clinton and Bill Clinton and Hillary, you can triple that number. So, I mean, everything in terms of foreign policy to the ACA to a whole bunch of things. To Fast and Furious, the IRS, all of these issues that took place under President Obama. And, I didn't know my Secretary of State. How do you not know your Secretary of State was running servers for 4 years? Of course you knew. That's not true. I had nothing to do with the FBI investigation. That's bizarre. Of course that's not true. If it's Trump, there's no plausible deniability. If it's Democrats, they live within a web, a nefarious web of plausible deniability, overt deception, and the most bizarre and absurd stories. We talked about golf, Brexit, and grandchildren. The Bosnian snipers. There's no quid pro quo. There's just a litany of payments going into the Clinton Foundation and beneficial treatment taking place, but you can't prove anything. But with Trump, you better believe he withheld military assistance for no other reason other than he was worried about Biden. And he went after a political opponent. I mean, they live in their own world. And then you get the real, the absurd kind of voting for Trump is not about policies. It's about morality. It's about our democracy. It's about our republic. It's about the Constitution. Wait, didn't you cheat Bernie Sanders? Don't you want to abolish the Electoral College? It's just in the Constitution. Don't you want to pack the courts, which is in the Constitution? The Supreme Court setup. They want to do away with norms. They don't want to keep norms. They want to do away with norms so they can win. They only care about winning. This is why it's so beautiful. He's running in 2024. Enjoy it. Democrats are basically jumping into a lake with piranhas. They're jumping into an ocean full of sharks. They're heading towards an iceberg. And they know it. They know it. But again, see, they don't care. Clinton doesn't care. You think people are like, how could she run if they lose again? Then, well, they'd lose with Biden. Why don't they just lose with Clinton? She doesn't care. The whole thing was about Clinton running anyway from the very beginning. So she doesn't care. You have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, this is a situation where you're dealing with a political machine. The machine doesn't think that it's running out of fuel, but it is. The Titanic doesn't think that it's going to hit an iceberg, but it is. And read the NPR article. The quotes are between me. They quote me. The NPR article is my pinned comment below. Look below in the pinned comment to my 15-minute crowd. God bless you. I love you. Look below in the pinned comment. There's that NPR article. Read it. They quote me for posterity. I predicted the 2016 election in 2015, and I'll predict the 2020 election in 2017. Huffington Post articles below. But Trump is running again for a third term, everyone. Tell your friends, especially your liberal friends. They'll love it. They'll be petrified. It'll be hilarious. Give me your thoughts below. Check out H.A. Goodman's other channel right now. That channel's heating up. Thank you so very much.